power. Sorry. Wind power is actually from solar power because wind is caused by heat from the sun. Solar radiation heats every part of Earth's surface, but not evenly or at the same speed. Different surfaces such as sand, water, stone, and various types of soil absorb, retain, reflect, and release heat at different rates, and the Earth generally gets warmer during daylight hours and colder.
The wind turbine. Wind turbines convert the energy of moving air or wind into electricity. Most modern wind turbines consist of 3 blades connected to a tall tower via a hub. Wind turbines, like aircraft propeller blades, turn in the moving air and power an electric generator. It supplies an electric current. Simply stated, a wind turbine is the opposite of a fan. Instead of using electricity to make a wind, like a fan, wind turbines use wind to make electricity. The wind turns the blades, which spin a shaft, which connects to a generator and makes electricity. How do wind turbines work? The turbine, the hub and blades of the wind power unit or aerogenerator are called the turbine or rotor. Behind the wind turbine is the nacelle, or the engine house, is the rest of the electrical equipment and machinery. This nacelle is mounted on a tower in order to allow the wind to flow freely through the turbine. And because the speed of the wind increases considerably with the height above ground, the nacelle contains a yawing gear system, which ensures that the turbine automatically faces into the wind. The blades slow the wind down and recover part of its kinetic energy. The blades are made from composite material glass fiber, reinforced plastic, which makes for a durable design. The turbine blades have an integral lightning protection system, which offers protection from damage caused by strokes of lightning. Exploiting the wind. As the wind blows, it creates a pressure difference in front of and behind the blades, causing the blades and the turbine axle or shaft to rotate. The wind turbine axle drives a generator which generates electricity. The generator is located in the housing on the top of the tower, and the electricity is transmitted to the power grid via cables. The principle of a wind power turbine is remarkably similar to an old-fashioned bicycle dynamo.
The generator. The shaft of the turbine is connected to a generator located inside the wind power turbine's engine house. Between the turbine and the generator, there is normally a gear which converts the turbine's low speed of, for example, 6 to 16 revolutions per minute, RPM. The generator's 1,500 RPM, the generator produces electricity, which is distributed to a national grid.
Wind power and the grid. When there is only a slight or no wind, the wind power turbines are on hold, poised, and ready to go. When the wind gets up sufficient speed, approximately 4 meters per second, production starts automatically. At 14 to 12 meters per second, the wind turbine produces its full output. In powerful winds, when the wind speed exceeds at 25 meters per second or so, the aerodynamic stresses are so great that the wind power turbines automatically stop in order not to cause unnecessary wear and tear.
There are 4 main variables that concern how much energy is produced by these wind turbines. First is the wind velocity. Second, blade radius. Third, the tower height. And lastly, air density. First is wind velocity, and it mostly depends on how fast wind moves. Most likely around 25 to 55 miles per hour. A maximum of 55 miles with greater than that wind speed, wind turbines might usually be destroyed or maybe caused from typhoons. Less than 8 miles per hour as usually less wind speed. Second is blade radius. It is the amount of length or how large the area is occupied by wind turbines, and with the greater area or greater length means greater energy. Tower height, where wind turbines usually go at highest or high amounts of altitudes, where faster winds goes, and the taller it is, the more wind can be produced. And lastly, air density. The heavier the air exerts more weight to the rotor. Air density is often function of altitude. High altitude locations have lower air pressures and lighter air, so they have less productivity of wind power, and heavier air means more wind power.
Go. The advantages of wind power. Harnessing the wind energy to generate electricity has a number of advantages over traditional energies and even other renewable energy sources. Due to the more advanced technological development in the field, the main advantages are renewable energy. Wind energy in itself is a source of renewable energy, which means it can be produced again and again since it is available and plenty. It is the cleanest form of renewable energy and is currently used many leading developing nations to fulfill their demand of electricity. Wind energy is friendly to the surrounding and environment, and so no fossil fuels are burned to generate electricity from the wind energy.
Reduces fossil fuel consumption. Dependence on the fossil fuels could be reduced to too much extent if it's adopted on too much wider scale by all the countries across the globe. It could be the answer to the ever-increasing demand for petroleum gas products. Apart from this, it can also help to curb harmful gas emissions, which are the major source of global warming.
Less air and water pollution. Wind energy doesn't pollute at all. It is that form of energy that will exist until the sun exists. It does not destroy the environment or release toxic gases. Wind turbines are mostly found in coastal areas, open plain and gaps in mountains where the wind is reliable, strong, and steady. An ideal location would have near constant flow of non-turbulent wind throughout the year, with a minimum likelihood of sudden powerful bursts of wind.
Initial cost. The cost of producing wind energy has come down steadily over the last few years. The main cost is the installation of wind turbines. Moreover, the land used to install wind turbines can also be used for agriculture purpose. Also, when combined with solar power, it provides cheap, reliable, steady, and great source of energy for the developed and developing countries.
Create many jobs. Wind energy, on the other hand, had created many jobs for the local people, from installation of wind turbines to maintenance of the area where turbines are located. It has created a wide range of opportunities for the people. Since most of the wind turbines are based in coastal and hilly areas, people living there are often seen in maintenance of wind turbines. Wind energy projects create new short and long-term jobs. Wind energy creates 30% more jobs than a coal power plant and 66% more jobs than a nuclear power plant per unit of energy generated.
Land preservation. Wind farms are spaced over a large geographical area, but their actual footprint covers only a small portion of the land, resulting in a minimum impact on crop production or livestock grazing. Large buildings cannot be built near the turbine. Thus, wind farms preserve open space. National security energy independence. Wind turbines diversify our energy portfolio and reduces our dependence on foreign fossil fuel. Wind energy is homegrown electricity and can help control spikes in fossil fuel costs, distributed against potential terrorist threats to power plants.
Local ownership. A significant contribution to the worldwide energy mix can be made with small clusters of turbines or even single turbines, operated by local landowners and small businesses. Developing local sources of electricity means we import less fuel from other states, regions, and nations. It is also means our energy dollars are flowed back into the local economy. Clean water. Since turbines produce no particular emissions that contribute to the mercury contamination in our lakes and streams, wind energy also conserves water resources. For example, producing the same amount of electricity can take about 600 times more than water with nuclear power plant than wind, and about 500 times more water with coal power.
Clean air. Other sources of electricity produces harmful particulate emissions, which contribute to global climate change and acid rain. Wind energy is pollution-free. Mining and transportation. Harvesting the wind preserves our resources because no need for destructive resource mining or fuel transportation to a processing facility.
Disadvantages. First, noise. Wind turbines are not silent. The sounds they produce are typically foreign to the rural settings where wind turbines are most often used. But as turbine technology has improved over the years, the amount of noise has fallen considerably. The sounds of wind turbines do not interfere with normal activities, such as quietly talking to one's neighbor. Second, aesthetics. Many people see large wind turbines as unsightly structures and not pleasant or interesting to look at. They disfigure the countryside and are generally ugly. Third, the threat to wildlife. Due to the large-scale construction of wind turbines on remote location, it could be a threat to wildlife nearby. Few studies have been done by wind turbines to determine the effect of wind turbines on birds and animals, and the evidence is clear that animals see wind turbines as a threat to their lives. Also, wind turbines require them to be dig deep into the earth, which could have negative effect on the underground habitats. Fourth, wind can never be predicted. The main disadvantage of wind energy is that wind can never be predicted. In areas where large amount of wind is needed or wind's strength is too low to support wind turbine, their solar or geothermal energy could prove to be great alternatives. That is one of the reasons that most of the companies determine wind turbines layout, power curve, thrust curve, long-term wind speed before deploying wind turbines.
The Philippine wind energy. The Philippines remains the top wind producer in Southeast Asia with its 33 megawatts wind turbines that started operation in 2005. A study by the U.S. National Renewable Energy Laboratory, or USNRL, shows that there are 10,000 square kilometers of land areas with good to excellent wind resources here in the country. Using the conservative assumption of about 7 megawatts per square kilometers, these windy areas could support a potential installed capacity of 70,000 megawatts. Most of these windy areas can be found in the northern part of the country, particularly in the Ilocos region.
Renewable energy. Wind energy in itself is a source of initial cost. The cost of producing wind energy has come down steadily over the last few years. The main cost is the installation of wind turbines. Moreover, the land used to install wind turbines can also be used for agricultural purpose. Also, when combined with solar power, it provides help. Nag-glance ko daan.
Create many jobs. Wind energy of wind turbines to main... Ano na inakuha niya?
The Philippine Wind Energy. The Philippines remains the top wind producer in Southeast Asia with its
The generator. The shaft of the turbine is connected to a generator located
Last year. Last air and water pollution.